Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Laura. I am from a little country called Northern Ireland, which is on the very north of Ireland. So this is my very first YouTube vlog. So if you're watching and if you like what you see, I would absolutely adore your support. And if you would like to hit subscribe, I would be so incredibly grateful. But anyway, so like I said, this is my very first ever vlog, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but I basically want to put it out there because I have been watching other YouTube vloggers for literally years. I absolutely adore watching YouTube, watching other people putting out content. I am just very much a normal girl, just living a very normal life, and that's the kind of vlogs I absolutely adore watching. So that's very much what I kind of want to do. So I want to give you a little bit of a background just of me and who I am and the kind of content that I'm going to be putting out and stuff for you guys. So like I said, I'm from Northern Ireland. I'm currently studying a law degree. I'm doing that on a part-time basis. Along with that, I am a mum of one little girl called Ella, who is just my little 2-year-old crazy ball of energy, but I absolutely just adore her. And yeah, and I'm married to a gorgeous guy called Chris, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We adore traveling as a family, and our goal in life is just to travel as much as we can. We just love seeing the world. There's such a massive world out there, and we just want to explore as much of it as we possibly can. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be a travel channel, although one day I really hope that it turns into that. But for now, we're just going to be sort of sharing kind of our generic life, you know, kind of what we get up to on the day-to-day, and then just throwing in any travel vlogs that we do have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So speaking of which, can you guess where I'm going to tomorrow? Can you guess? So we are heading to Disney tomorrow. Yes! So tomorrow at lunchtime, we're heading on a flight and we're going over to Disneyland in Paris. Cannot wait. Absolutely cannot wait. So I've been to Disneyland in Paris once before, many years ago. I think probably, I would say nearly 20 years ago. But my hubby used to be very fortunate, and he used to travel over to Florida, and he'd done Disney World quite a few times. But anyway, we haven't been together, and this obviously is Ella's very first time. She's 2.5 years old, and I am so excited to see her little face whenever she walks in through the gates of Disney and is just mesmerized by it all. Like, when I was a little girl, I would have absolutely adored having gone to Disney, but unfortunately we just never got the opportunity to go. So I have always dreamed of the day that I could take my own little bean to Disney. So yeah, as of tomorrow, here we go. So today what I'm going to do is a little travel with me, or a little pack with me, shall I say. I'm packing up things for a 2-year-old who is traveling to Disney. So this is going off my experience from having traveled with Ella in the past. So far in Ella's little life, she has been to Croatia, she's been to Bosnia and Herzegovina, Finland, Turkey and London. So she's been very lucky. But at every time that we have traveled with her at different stages throughout her sort of life. So we first traveled with her when she was just under a year, then again at 18 months, at 2 years, and again we're going again at 2.5 years old. So every single time that we have traveled, kids change so much so quickly. And yeah, so I know the things that I have done in the past will not necessarily work for Ella now. So things in the past that we've had to consider with Ella is taking things for, like I say, like an 18-month-old. But what you're taking for an 18-month-old isn't necessarily what you're going to be taking for a 2.5-year-old. So let's get into what I am bringing with us to Disneyland. So whenever you are flying with a child, my best advice is prepare. Just go prepared for just every eventuality that you can think of. Prepare for success or prepare to fail. That is without a doubt my motto. So by that, what I mean is just prepare some entertainment for your child whenever you're getting on a flight. So if you are flying on a long haul flight, perhaps the carrier that you're flying with will have seatback entertainment, and if so, fantastic. If they have the attention span to basically watch it and actually take it in. But up until this point, Ella hasn't really been at that stage as yet. And again, at 2.5 years old, I actually find Ella's attention span's getting worse than getting better, because she just wants to do everything and anything and everything and everything. So having said that, I'm bringing little things with us for the journey. The flight to Paris is 2.5 hours long, so it's really not a long flight at all. Our longest flight so far with Ella has been 5 hours, which again isn't massively long, but anytime we have flown with Ella, we have flown with a low-cost carrier, and that has meant that we haven't had any in-flight entertainment at all, and it's been very basic on board. So we are the in-flight entertainment. So anyway, I'm going to show you the things that I am bringing with us for a 2.5-year-old. So first of all, I'm going to start off with this little box. So this is really, really cute. So what I tend to do with Ella whenever we are flying is I usually go out and I get her like some new little games and little books that she has never seen, and she will not get them until we get on the plane. So when she gets them, she's super excited about them. Obviously bright colors, and it's just like, you just look at this and think, oh, what's inside? So whenever I am traveling with her, I don't like to give her toys that she's always playing with, because she just loses interest in them so quickly. So in this little box are lots of little books. So here, and little whiteboard pen. So these are all like little educational books. So we've got one here for like the alphabet, another one here which is numbers, and what they do is they can just draw along like the dotted lines and just draw in the books. She might actually still be a little bit young for this one, but she'll still adore the colours of it all anyway. And with a little whiteboard pen, you can just wipe everything off it again whenever she's done with it. So another little tip I want to give to you is when she flies with these toys, I try to, if I can, I try to spread out the toys so that she gets some toys on the way out and then some toys on the way back. But obviously with your hand luggage, you can only take so much as well. And when we were flying to Turkey, which was a 5-hour flight, we did go through all the toys that we had brought with us. But what I do whenever I am abroad, I don't let her have those toys again until she's flying back home again. Obviously, because once she's had them once, and if she's played with them whenever she's away as well, by the time you're flying home again, she's lost interest in them and they don't have the same effect. So yeah, I try to limit her exposure to the toys. So yes, so I have this wee one, then I have this little book, which is like a sticker book as well. Kids absolutely adore stickers, and she'll stick things onto the book, but she'll also stick it onto the back of the seat, which is fine. You just take them off again, and she'll stick them on my face, she'll stick them on my nose, she'll have them everywhere. But she absolutely adores stickers, and that's one just to keep her kind of entertained. This little one, I got this actually on Amazon, which is quite a quirky little game, but it comes in this kind of big box. So I'm going to take certain bits out of this and just take part of the game with us, because I don't want to take it all, because it's, as you can see, very full. So what this is this is little garden. So build your own garden, so you can create your own flowers. So they come with like stems, petals, and I think there's like a little green mat where you just stick them all in, so she can use the tray on the back of the seat in front and just create her own flowers. So that'll be her. So yeah, that is the plan. So I'm going to take some of these out and put them just in like a little sandwich bag so that she can take some, and yeah, that'll keep her entertained. So she's never had this, like I said, and she doesn't know she's got it, she doesn't know it's coming to her, but I like to give her a little bag full of little treats whenever she's on the plane. So yeah, so a couple of other little games that I have. I have a travel snakes and ladders, and one last little one here as well. We actually did take this one to Finland, but she hasn't had it ever since, and we went to Finland 5 months ago, and the flight to Finland was 3 hours. Yeah, it was 3 hours from Ireland. So this is just a little fishing game. So you just wind it up and then the little fish go around, and then you get a little magnet and you can catch the fish. So that was a great hit. She absolutely adored that. The little bits are really tiny, so you have to be quite careful when you're on the plane not to lose them. But sure, you let them get off the seat whenever the seatbelt sign is off, and let them go and find them themselves. It's another one to try and keep them entertained. So other wee things that I would say to you as well, when you are traveling, and things that we have used in the past. We used little silicone, you know, like cupcake holders. So we got little silicone ones, and you can divide those into the different colors, so she can have fun with putting like all the blues together, all the pinks together, all the whites together. And then one little other wee thing to do with those was we got some pom-poms from like a craft shop, so little like foam pom-poms, weigh absolutely nothing, and let her divide them into the colors as well. So again, little creative ideas, and it's just all about being creative and trying to think of things that are super light, don't take up luggage space, and that are going to keep your child entertained as well. And then one thing I will say as well, whenever you are flying too, do not be afraid to get out of your seat and go for a walk up and down the aisle, and go up to the galley and have a chat with the cabin crew. I actually used to work as crew myself for Emirates, and anytime we had finished our service, once the service is done and we are just hanging about up at the galley, bring your kids up, because the crew absolutely adore seeing them. They love making a fuss out of them. It's company for us, for crew as well. I say us, but I'm not actually crew anymore. But yeah, so don't be afraid to get out of your chair. Kids love to move, and especially whenever they start walking, they love to get moving. So just get up and get active. Take them up and down, and yeah, as long as they're not annoying anybody else, then just let them rock away. I do remember on one of our flights, I think it was when we were coming back from Croatia, our flight was quite quiet, which was great. So I brought her up to the front of the plane, and there was a couple of aisles that had absolutely nobody in them. So I let her get into those aisles and play on those seats. She played with the seat belts and put the seatbelt into the seatbelt holder, unfastened it, you know, just played away with it as well. And it was great. It kept her entertained. So yeah, don't ever, because I've had a few people say to me before that they couldn't imagine anything worse than flying with a child. So that's why I say it's all about preparing. Preparation is key, and the more you do and the more you think about what you're going to do on board, the better and easier your flight will ever be. We haven't really had any bad flights. Coming home from Turkey, our flight was a night flight, and Ella was getting quite ratty just because she was overtired and the lights were really dark. But again, on a night flight, what I also advise to do is to make their evening time as close to their bedtime routine as they would usually have it. So I brought her pajamas with us, and I brought her bear, like her colour bear. She has a little teddy bear that she just absolutely adores. It sings music and it lights up. It's like a wee night light, and I brought that with us along with her pillow. If you have space for it, of course. If you don't have space for it, well then fair enough. But if you can fit it in, at the time she was with she only had a toddler pillow, so it was really, really thin. I don't think I would bring her main pillow now because it would just take up far too much space. But the little toddler pillow was really thin, and it just meant that she could nuzzle into me. I had her colour bear up against her ear so she could hear her music playing, and it really did settle her. It was a hard flight because it was so late. It was so late, and she was just getting past herself with tiredness, but she did finally drift off, and it just made things a lot easier. So moving on, from flying and from the actual traveling side of things whenever you are traveling with a little person. So things that we are bringing with us to Disney, with a toddler. Well, I call her a toddler, but she's not really a toddler anymore. She's kind of getting a bit bigger. But Ella was recently potty trained, so she is no longer using her nappies, and she's now on the toilets. So what I am bringing with us is this little contraption. So this is a little portable toilet seat, which is fantastic. I got this on Amazon, and it comes in like its own little bag. So this is a little toilet seat, and it just means that no matter where we are, you can just add that on. And like I say, it folds up so tiny, and it just has a little carry, like its own little bag, and we drawstring on it, so it just goes really easily into your nappy bag, and takes up very little space, but it just means that she's not falling through a toilet every time. So yeah, that's a handy one to have. This, again, I would have travelled with these a lot more when she was younger. Don't really tend to use them as much now because she is 2.5 and she's eating with a fork now, and she's eating off a plate. So she doesn't really need these as much, but they're still, having said that, very handy to take, because especially when you're on a plane, like the tray tables on a plane are just not good. They're not good. So I'm actually going to show you one other thing just beforehand. So Milton antiseptic wipes. So these are fantastic, and again, Milton wipes are safe for use for any age. So even if your baby is still in the sterilizing phase, Milton wipes are brilliant just for disinfecting everything, and they're so safe to use around babies. So I always travel with those, because you just never know when you need to wipe things down and things that are just disgusting that you do not want your hands near your mouth. So moving back onto these, so as you can see, the bag is well worn, but these have been sitting in our nappy bag, and we use these when we're out in a restaurant. So some restaurants are certainly cleaner than others, shall we say. So what this is this is a table mat apron. So I'm just going to open the bag and show you. So this is what comes out. So these are like little aprons that you can put on. Can you see that okay? So you can put these on. We use these a lot more when she was on a high chair. But if you need to just put them on the table in front of you, if you don't think that the table's overly clean, you can put these on. They have little stickers at the back, so you just peel this off, and then underneath is like really sticky, so they stay in place, which is fantastic. Because I know when I've been in some restaurants are lovely and they're fine and everything, but then there's also some high chairs in some restaurants that, yeah, no. No. So I definitely, not even when you're going on traveling, just if you're in any way like me, you might want to just put them into your nappy bag, and then they're handy to have. We have used them quite a few times, but you get 20 in a packet. So we've used them quite a few times, but we still have quite a few left. So just as and whenever you feel concerned enough to need them. So the next thing is your first aid kit with a little bean. So we are going to Disney. We're only going for a long weekend. So we're traveling out on Thursday and flying back on Monday. So we actually aren't away for a very long time. So I don't really need to bring a whole lot with us. And because we are only traveling for 4 days, we're actually just going to go with hand luggage. Well, I'm going to attempt hand luggage. Once I fully packed, I will soon see if we can manage hand luggage. Up until this point, we've always had to travel with nappies. So that takes up a lot of space in your suitcase, along with excessive amounts of change of clothes for little beans. But we are traveling in the summertime, so it is now June. So the weather when we are away is to be around sort of the 28 to 30 degree mark. So it's going to be plenty warm, shall we say. That's degrees, not Fahrenheit, by the way. So a lot of clothes are very light and shouldn't take up a lot of space. But anyway, moving back on to the first aid kit. So first aid kit for kids, Calpol. So this is paracetamol. So Calpol, they come in little small travel sachets, which are great. So each of these sachets has 2.5 mils of Calpol in it, and for Ella's age range she would be on 2. So I'm only really going to take enough for like sort of 2 servings. She is completely well, there's nothing wrong with her at the moment. If we need to get anything when we're out there, we'll get them when we're out there, but I always like to just have a few bits and pieces on me, just in case. So next, with a little 2-year-old, plasters. Do you really go anywhere without plasters? Yeah, Ella is going through a wild phase at the minute of basically falling, like running so fast that her little feet can't carry her, and she does tend to have quite a few falls, and she also likes to use these like stickers. So yeah, making sure that there's plasters in the bag. So the last little bits that I want to show you are, again, for traveling. So these are for the actual traveling. When we are traveling with Ella, she will have a few weekends on her iPad. So one thing that I will say is limit, if they use iPads at the moment, limit their use of the iPad on the lead up to your actual travel day. So Ella plays a few games at the moment on the iPad. They're called Bimmy. So download them from the App Store. They are fantastic for her age. They're so bright, colourful, interactive, and she absolutely adores them. They really do keep her attention. But what I will say is, when she does have a lot of use of those, she does start to get bored of those. So again, on the lead up to travel day, I do try to restrict how much she gets using them. So she hasn't actually had the iPad probably for about the last couple of months, to be honest. So when we are traveling, she will find them really interesting again and really entertaining. So along with the iPad are her wireless earphones. She loves these. What do you say? Da, 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 da. So they light up. They are so much fun. I honestly wish I was 2 years old again. So again, I don't let her have these very often, so she gets using them. We try to keep these just for whenever she's actually traveling, because again, it holds the interest, keeps them magical, and she loves them. So yeah, they again come in a little travel bag as well, so they're very easy to put into hand luggage too. So along with traveling, we've gone through some really busy airports before. Dublin Airport can be absolutely manic. So this little dudette is super handy. We do still use the buggy with her, but again, she's in the buggy, she's out the buggy, she's in the buggy, she's out the buggy, and I know Disney is going to be very busy. So this is her little harness. Doesn't really wear this at all anymore, but whenever we are in super busy places, for my peace of mind, I like to know that I have her, and that I have her restrained if I need to have her restrained, just because I don't want her walking off and me not being able to find her again. So yeah, little harness. If we use it, we use it. If we don't, we don't. But again, it takes up very little space, so it is something that will be coming with us. And last but not least, are you even going to Disneyland if you haven't got your Disney ears? So you see, aren't they just ridiculously cute? So I ordered these from Amazon, and they came in a set of 2. So there is this one and this one. Super cute. Now they were ordered for Ella. I knew I was going to take one of them, let's be honest, but I did order them for Ella, and they're far too big for her head. So they're mine. I get to keep them. So they're now mine. I then tried to order another pair of mini ears for her, and again, they don't fit. So I get to keep them as well. So after having ordered 2 pairs, I thought, you know, I'm not ordering any more. I'll wait until I get there. But then I was in her room and I was just looking through her drawers, and I happened to find these ones. And these are ones that I had ordered for Ella when she was 1. So when she was 1, she had a lovely little mini outfit, and it turns out we already had a pair that fit her. So now she gets these ones and I get 3. So yeah, silver linings and everything. And then our little Minnie mouse. Her little Minnie mouse, so she can actually go and visit Minnie and she can show Minnie her little Minnie mouse that she just adores. So yeah, that is it, guys. That is pretty much all from me. So that was everything that I wanted to show you today. So if you have stayed this long through this channel, or not channel, through this video, and if you found any value in what I have shown you today, I would be so grateful if you wouldn't mind jumping. Say it again, I'll go back to it. So if you have found any value in this video, I would be so grateful if you would possibly just subscribe to my channel. Like I said before, I am just going to be putting out just general lifestyle content, and I will try to make it as creative as I can, and I will also try to make it as informative as I can. This is something that I've wanted to do for such a long time. I have just been such a viewer of YouTube and just adore it, and it's been a massive goal of mine. So even putting this out today, I am just thrilled that I'm actually taking this leap of faith and I'm actually doing this. And without a doubt, I don't expect this vlog to be perfect by any means, but again, all we can do is learn and grow and just get better. So that is absolutely the plan. So I really would appreciate your support. Anyway, I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're up to. We are traveling tomorrow and I will be vlogging our entire weekend in Disney. So yes, come with me to Disney.